Okay, so the world shards are like pieces of her mind. Everyone is trying to work through her story. And there's two different kinds of encounters. You're going to have encounters that are more from her perspective. Like, and this could be anyone could get into this encounter, but it's like seen more through her eyes. And then you've got explorations, which are more from everyone else's perspective. So everyone else is like,
for this guy right here. So
why is this happening, and why am I here, and please let me out. So, but they're also able to see her more from a distance, you know, more from a not so close like we would see ourselves. But she's going to move. So we're going to move her. She can move up to 2 world shards at a time. So let's say she's going to go there. And let's say this guy's not there for a while. So at this point, she's moved 2 spaces. So she'll go down 2 steps on the mental capacity track there. Now, symptom bile is going to activate. So, first of all, at the start of the round, what we should have done, which I didn't because I'm not recognized. Symptom bile would have gotten domain rifts. These are how you would attack the monsters, because it's like they're pulling their essence from the world around them. They are actively channeling the world to live and exist. So these are what they're pulling out of the world, essentially. And these are called domain rifts. And these are how you're going to attack symptom bile. So symptom bile we would follow down its track here to see what it's going to do. So first of all, a wanderer is within 1 space. Each wanderer within 1 space gains a weakened card, which is a nasty card with bad effects. No wanderer in its space. Bile moves up to 2 spaces toward the nearest wanderer with the most weakened cards. Well, no one has a weakened card right now, so it's just going to choose, and Claude's up here, because reasons. And she's over here. For reasons. So it would go 1, 2, which is going to introduce all sorts of bad things for Emily there. So it's now going to move down. That cost 1 mental capacity for it to do. So it was at 5, I believe. Yeah. So it's actually going to activate again now, because monsters always activate before wanderers. So, dang, that sucks. So once again, we would look down here. The wanderer is definitely within 1 space. So that's going to take 3 mental capacity. It's going to drop 3 down the track. 1, 2, 3. And then it's going to give her a weakened card. Oh, no, wait, no, I'm so mistaken here. No, I'm wrong. Because it's not within 1 space, it would be in this space. So it's going to deal 2 purple damage to the wanderer with the most weakened cards in its space. So it's going to attack her. So now she's going to have to defend against that damage. So because it's attacking her with purple, which is kind of like the other. It's the color of each of the colors has a reason, has a meaning. So, like for instance, purple in this game means the other world. It's weird, it's uncanny, it's strange, it's otherworldly. That's why these dice. Oh no. These dice all have have 2 spheres on them, because this leans towards just the weird stuff that's happening. And in our previous game, a sphere did it. So she's going to roll 2 purple dice. She's going to try to defeat those. If she gets eyes, she won't take damage. Whoa!
Nice.
Dang! I was not expecting that. So she completely negated its damage to her, and she's good. Oh, except, nope, she's still good. There's this special ability down here at the bottom of certain abilities. If one of the domain rifts matches that, that's going to give it an extra boost, an extra power or whatever. So it's like the super bad stuff. Those are the worst effects normally. So she defended against that. Which would have been, so that would have costed 1 mental capacity, so it just dropped to 3 there. So now it's her turn again. Technically her and Linus, but she decides she's going to go first because this is her game, dang it. So she has 2 choices now. Well, she has multiple choices actually. She has a bunch of choices. She can choose to enter this encounter. She can choose to attack the monster, or she can choose to do what's called a domain action, where she is pulling resources out of the world. She can also search, which would, somewhere in here, here we go, I found him. Okay. So she can also, these are domain cards. Domain is an important term in the game. It's used in a lot of different stuff. But so she could get one of these items, like an anatomical drawing, a fresh scalpel, a bloody scalpel, a nurse uniform, a magnum, an unnatural anesthetic, neural scanner, lost compass, fetal specimen, hand-drawn map, consuming fire, holy water, feverish scribbling, so on and so forth. Old-time radio. You get the idea. So she could do that as well. If she was going to draw resources here, she would take 1 purple and 2 blue dice, and she would roll those, and these would now be the resources she would get, which is a bunch of brains. So it's not normal that I roll all the same things all the time. So this is interesting. But she's going to do something super stupid, and rather than attacking the monster, she's going to jump into an encounter. So at the bottom of a World Shard card is an entry encounter. It's like the first encounter on that World Shard. Throughout the game, you'll be getting more of these. You'll be putting these like here, and you'll be kind of making a little collection of encounters you can go into. And when you land on a World Shard, you can do any of those at one time. You don't have to do just the entry encounter. Oh, sorry.
You're good. No, you're good.
Okay.
So you.
So she's going to jump into the encounter. That costs 2 mental capacity. So she's going to drop 1, 2. And she's going to go to entry 288 in the storybook. And there's a little bit of text here just kind of giving you a hint of what's in that story. So the staircase spirals downward into the black abyss as the cracked baby doll faces murmur. You want to step, or you want to stop, but you know you can't. So then we will go to 288 in the book.
Right here, definitely right here.
All right, the spiral staircase. This place shouldn't exist. You know that to the very core of your being. And yet, here it is. The air crackles with a strange static energy, shimmering like broken glass. You stare down the spiral staircase into that dizzying, abyssal midnight, wondering if it will devour you whole if you venture too deep. Perhaps, in the end, it doesn't matter. Either way, you know you must descend. You step methodically down the stairway, trying not to look at the giant faces of broken dolls observing you from the walls, their glass eyes swiveling unsettlingly to follow you. Old TVs crackling with electric snow and tall, full-length mirrors fill the spaces between the heads, the televisions emitting a droning hiss. You realize the only light in this stairwell comes from these screens. They don't love you as they love her, the giant baby doll heads whisper. They never did. They never will. That's not true, you murmur. They loved me. They just had a hard time showing it. Then why did they make you her slave? The faces ask. Why did they dote on her and cast you aside? The television screens flicker beside you, then solidify into an image. You see a bedraggled girl with stringy hair crawling up a spiral staircase. It looks like the same one you're walking down. The girl looks up. She has your face. It seems that she's staring right into your soul. I'm coming for you, sister, the girl croaks. Don't you fear, I'm coming. She smiles. The gesture looks warm, caring. It soaks your soul in dread. So now we would decide if we dare to continue descending the stairs. And if we do want to, we'd have to make a test to continue, to gather our courage, essentially. Or if we don't want to or fail, we would not. So do we want to continue? What do you guys think? Okay.
But why would you not?
Well, I mean, it's like the thing today.
Yeah.
The door's open.
The door's
Why would you not go through it?
right.
Okay, so we're going to test red for hand and purple for hand. So we're going to grab one of these and one of these. And so now we need to look also at her limits. Because these are how many dice she will roll in a given encounter, or she can roll. So we can't go over this number here. So that can be very limiting, and that will also determine a lot of the times what story you're going to progress depending on which wanderer you have, because the chances are better for certain encounters and that sort of thing. Okay, so she's going to test these two. That was not so good. Okay, so we did not succeed. So we are going to go to 249. Now, technically, a sphere is a wild. We could have used that one. The problem is this one came up as a break. So we're kind of out of luck there. However, now that I'm thinking about it, wait one sec. No, we're gonna change this. No, we're not. She doesn't have any reds. Oh, she should have a red. Thanks, Claude. There we go. 288. One second. So we're going to rewind just a little bit. We're going to use this from our dashboard as that the hand that we missed here. So this will count as a hand because it's wild, and this we will use as her hand. So she no longer has that resource, but it's okay. So she did succeed that test. So now we can go to 179. Okay, gathering every strand of your courage, you take another step down the staircase, then another, and one more. She is growing closer. You watch her ascend on the television screens, crawling like an insect up the stairs. There's something wrong with you, Emily, the girl on the TV says. It's rippling through your veins and wriggling beneath your skin. But don't worry, I'm coming. I don't want your help, you reply. You hurt me more than any other person, even more than they did. They only harmed me because of you. I've been there for you for as long as I can remember. How much more must I give? They hate you, the baby doll heads whisper, giggling like children. Your life has less value than hers. If they could have made trade places, they would have. The stairs shift and shudder. Peering over the edge, you see black bile bubbling down the staircase's spiral. It's rising, consuming stair after stair as it expands. The air squeals, and then it shatters along with the mirrors. Shards of glass erupt around you, puncturing you, cutting you. You yelp and scream, trying to cover your face as you crouch. You feel another spirit forcing its way into your mind, but you may try to deny it. Test blue for eye and green for brain. If you succeed, gain ending D+1 and 1 traumatized card. Who wants to roll? Go for it. So you're going to take a blue and you're going to take a green. And we're going to try for an eye and a brain. So close. Okay, but let's look at her board. What does she have?
What is this? You got an eye, and what is this thing?
This is a skull. This is like when things are combining together. So it's yeah, it's like when two entities are merging into one and fusing into one being. That's what the skull means.
Okay.
Okay, so in fact, the full image, it just didn't fit on the dice, was of two skulls merging into one. Okay, so what do we have? So it was blue for eye, which we got, and the green was a brain. She does not have a green brain. Okay, well, so she's kind of out of luck there. So we failed the test, but that's okay. Nothing bad happened. We just didn't get more ending B. So it's okay, Emily. Oh, sorry. What's that? Let me redo it. It's okay, Emily. A dark, rumbling voice says, "I'm here now." Looking up, you see a woman towering over you. Matted hair stained black by ichor hangs over a face that is terrifyingly like looking in a mirror. She grows taller and taller as something bulges and writhes under her skin. It is transforming her, struggling to escape. Finally, one long insectoid leg pierces through her side. "We're together now," the woman rumbles. "Just you, me, and Mr. Tumblethorn. You're safe now. I won't let anyone hurt you again." The woman leans down toward you as something tries to push its way out of her mouth. You shriek as she wraps her arms around you and howl as you feel the two of you begin to merge. Then, looking down, you watch in horror as you see your arm sliding into her stomach. Ending A+1, ending D+1. Gain the Coda card, same flesh, and to existence. Immediately transport the Wanderer Emily to the North Wing. So, lucky for her, she now escapes symptom bile. North Wing. Oh no! Sad day. She teleported right into a space with one of her malformations.
That's how you do it.
But so now, these will be off the board, assuming this is one of our first encounters or whatever. So we would do ending A+1, this would go right here. And we would do ending D+1, so this would go right here. And now we're taking steps towards those particular endings. So that was both a good encounter and a really bad encounter. So it kind of evened itself out, I guess. So then she would also gain a Coda card from here. These are going to drastically change, or they don't drastically change, but they boost or lower your limits if you decide to equip them. So she got the card Same Flesh. Here we go. So here's the card. And each Coda card has unique art on it that kind of reflects the story you just went through. So if we decided to equip this, which we could, she would gain +1 purple and -1 blue.
For many of them? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it would be here. So if she did this, she would have 2 purple and 1 blue. The other thing she could do with this card, though, is she can use it to fight the Abomination. So this guy's still rampaging around the board. It's not currently on the mental capacity track because reasons. But she would roll these select dice against it to try to damage it. And if she succeeded, then somewhere here it would have confrontation cards. Yeah, Bliss Babies. Here we go. Okay. So, the confrontation cards would be somewhere along the board here, and whichever one is on the top is the one you're aiming for. So, in this case, she would be aiming to get a green eye, a blue brain. Oh no, wait, no, I'm sorry. These are the. Yeah, no, I'm right. So, and a yellow hand. If she does that, she's going to successfully does that, she'll do 2 damage to the Abomination. If she doesn't successfully do that, nothing happens. She also would get 1 existence, which is these guys here. These are going to allow her to upgrade her character depending, once she gets a couple more of these. So, so she would, so then she would have her different special abilities, like she could then start doing maybe treatments on people, psychiatric or physical treatments. and such as what are a couple of them? They're all real treatments. They all actually were done at least at one point. Like lobotomies. She does lobotomies on people. She's very good at those. Or she's also very good at electric shock therapy. And she's very good at like insulin coma therapy, where you just shoot yourself so full of insulin that you go into a coma. She's very good at those. But she can then give those to other wanderers. She can administer her treatments to other wanderers once she gets that existence going. So, and then, let's see, what else? Technically now, what she would do is she was actually being forced into an encounter here. But I just shut the book and I don't know what that encounter was. So, but what would have happened then is, in her story, she's constantly being pulled to the north wing because someone there who may be her sister really wants to talk to her a lot. And various